Have you ever felt like something's watching you when you're alone at night? What if that shadow in the corner wasn't just your imagination? Tonight, we're stepping into the chilling tales of mythical creatures that have haunted humanity for centuries. From bloodthirsty spirits to skinless horrors, these legends are not just stories, they're nightmares born from our darkest fears. Stay close because these terrifying creatures might be closer than you think. Fear has always been part of human existence. It's what kept our ancestors alive in the face of predators and the elements. But sometimes fear takes a different shape. Myths and folklore have turned our terror into beings that defy logic, beings that roam the skies, the seas, and even our dreams. In this video, we'll unravel 10 of the most spine-chilling creatures from around the globe. Will they remain legends, or will they linger in your thoughts tonight? Let's start with Southeast Asia's most horrifying apparition. In Southeast Asia, the Krasue is a name spoken in hushed tones. By day, she blends seamlessly among humans, but by night, her head detaches from her body, dragging her glistening, exposed organs as she flies through the dark skies. Her prey, animals, children, and pregnant women. But here's the twist. Her weakness lies in her body, left behind when she hunts. Destroy it, and the Krasue is left to wither under the morning sun. Or set traps with spiky plants to entangle her floating form. For all her terror, she's surprisingly fragile, but only if you survive the night to fight back. In Japan, there's a giant that stalks the night, the Gashadokuro. This 30-foot skeleton is a monument to rage, formed from the bones of those who died unavenged. Silent but deadly, it crushes and devours any unlucky enough to cross its path. What's worse, you'll never hear it coming. It said no weapon can harm it, and it only stops when its anger is spent. Could you imagine standing beneath something so enormous, knowing there's no escape? If you're lucky, perhaps the dawn will arrive before it notices you. Traveling to the Orkney Islands in Scotland, we encounter the Nuckelavee, a creature so vile that it's blamed for plagues, droughts, and ruin. Its grotesque appearance, half man, half horse, with exposed muscle and veins, has terrified locals for centuries. This malevolent spirit hates fresh water. Find a creek or a stream, and you're safe for now. But if you're trapped, you might have to think creatively. Perhaps salt or lemon could exploit its raw, skinless form. Just be prepared for the screams. From the Caribbean, we meet the Soucouyant, a creature that sheds its skin at night and becomes a ball of fire. It slips through the tiniest cracks, hunting for blood or a new skin to wear. Think locking your doors will help? Think again. The only way to stop it? Distract it. Legend says throwing rice forces the Soucouyant to count every grain. Find its discarded skin, cover it with salt, and watch as its powers fade. But if you hear scratching at your windows tonight, will you remember this trick? Central America's Siguanaba lures men to their doom with her stunning beauty. But those who approach her discover the horrifying truth, a demonic horse face hidden behind her long hair. Her victims either lose their minds or die of sheer terror. Think you're safe. Think again. Only the sign of the cross might save you if she truly is a Siguanaba. If not, well, you'll find out soon enough. Finally, we come to Germany's Alp, the creature that turns sleep into a nightmare. These small, elf-like demons sit on their victims' chests, causing sleep paralysis and horrifying dreams. Their telltale sign? A ridiculous little hat. Banish them with broomsticks, horseshoes, or even polite negotiation. But if they promise to return for coffee, you'd better be ready with something stronger than caffeine. The Wendigo, a haunting legend from North American indigenous folklore, embodies insatiable hunger and greed. Born from cannibalism, it is said to transform desperate humans into skeletal, antlered monsters, cursed with an unquenchable appetite. Emaciated yet powerful, the Wendigo roams snowy wildernesses, its hollow eyes reflecting the emptiness of its soul. Unlike creatures like the Krasue or Soucouyant, which feed to survive, the Wendigo consumes out of uncontrollable greed, leaving destruction in its wake. It's both a physical and spiritual terror, capable of possessing victims and turning them into monsters. The Wendigo serves as a dire warning against unchecked desire, selfishness, and the moral decay born of desperation. More than just a creature, it's a symbol of humanity's darkest impulses, echoing the dangers of disrespecting nature and others. In its chilling presence, we are reminded that some appetites can never be satisfied. The troll is a vengeful spirit from Indian folklore, a terrifying figure that punishes men who have wronged women. Often depicted with disheveled hair and backward-facing feet, The Churel is a chilling representation of the consequences of cruelty and betrayal. Her appearance is meant to unsettle, but it's her sinister actions that truly define her. Known for preying on men, particularly those who have mistreated women, the Churel feeds off their life force, draining them of energy until they are nothing but husks. In many ways, her curse is a reflection of the consequences of arrogance and injustice, drawing a direct parallel to figures like the Soucouyant from Central American folklore. Both spirits exist to punish those who take advantage of others, serving as cautionary tales about the dangers of mistreating the vulnerable. In her haunting form, the Churel reminds us that evil deeds often come back with a vengeance. The Penanggalan is a terrifying spirit from Southeast Asia, closely related to the Krasue. This floating head targets pregnant women and newborns, feeding on their blood. Like the Krasue, the Penanggalan's vulnerability lies in her detached body, which, if destroyed, leaves her defenseless. Her gruesome form and her relentless hunger for the innocent serve as a chilling reminder of the dark forces lurking in folklore, always preying on the weak and vulnerable. The manananggal, a vampiric creature from the Philippines, is truly a nightmare come to life. At night, it detaches its torso and takes to the skies, flying with massive bat-like wings. This horrifying ability makes it even more terrifying than its cousins, the Krasue and Penanggalan. Like them, its severed body is its vulnerability, but the sight of this winged predator swooping down to hunt is enough to freeze anyone with fear. It hunts with deadly precision, targeting the vulnerable during the night. What lurks in the shadows? These creatures may be born from folklore, but they embody the fears and warnings passed down through generations. Are they just stories, or does their existence linger in the shadows of our minds? Before you go, consider this. What other terrifying myths exist out there, waiting to be uncovered? Leave a comment below with the creature that haunts your nightmare, and who knows, it might appear in the next video. And as you rest tonight, remember the Krasue, the Gashadokuro, the Nuckelavee, the Soucouyant, the Soucouyant, and the Alp. Because even if they're just myths, the best stories always have a hint of truth. Nightmares aren't bound by borders, and neither are the stories we share. Subscribe and hit the bell to keep your curiosity alive, because the next creature might be watching right now.